What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the Bay State Sports Podcast. I am Pat. This is B Gooks. Let's get right into it.
BSP episode 31. Pat, pleasure to be here.
Good to be back.
We're doing it again. We have a lot to break down.
Yep.
BSP's been a little MIA on the pod front. Been doing our best to grow the brand, of course. A lot of followers, loyal people helping us out, grow through the process. But we got the studio. We're ready to rock. It's almost summer. We're going to be ripping these in the summer.
Oh, yeah.
You see us on the boats, on the skis, in the freaking pool. We're going to be doing
all
of
over the place.
All
We're
of
going to
it.
rip them.
Do some outdoor pods. It'll be fun.
Some good outdoor pods. We got the equipment now, so it works out well.
Yeah, we can move anywhere. So we're starting today with your New England Patriots.
Yep.
Who had some splashes in free agency. You know, they go out, they get Milton Williams styled on that Chiefs offensive line.
Yep.
Dominated Patrick Mahomes in the Super Bowl.
Yep.
Big pickup, probably the prize of defensive free agency.
Oh, 100%. Because he was supposed to be signed to the Panthers first.
Yep.
And then we just stole him from the Panthers and he came back to the Patriots. So that was huge that we were able to pull that off. And realistically, we needed someone like that on the Patriots. All season last season, there was no pressure on the quarterback. We were just getting torn up on offense because the quarterback on defense, because the quarterback had so much time to think and where he's going to throw the ball. Now we got big time pressure on the offense. We got a couple defensive line guys.
Oh, yeah.
We got Milton Williams.
You got Spillane from Vegas.
Yep.
And then, Landry from Tennessee?
Yep.
Those are big pickups.
Those are huge pickups. And, to an offensive line that you desperately need help on. And then this year you get, what's his face back? Blood clots last year?
Barmore's
going to be back
Barmore, Bentley, and Williams on that defensive front is going to be fierce. The biggest problem they got ran on last year.
Oh, yeah.
Big time. They could not stop the run at all. And the only thing they could do was blitz. And teams knew it every time. The firing of DeMarcus Covington,
huge.
Addition by subtraction. You didn't even need a new D coordinator. You could have just left that empty. And they could have coached themselves. They would have been better than Covington.
Yep.
No, I'm telling you, that defense is going to be a lot better now. You bring in Carlton Davis.
I was just about to say
in the corner room to pair with Gonzalez. That's probably the best corner room in the AFC East, if not the AFC.
Yep.
And then Mike Vrabel. Mike Vrabel's got his guys, his front four with Keon White, Milton Williams.
His coordinators.
You're hoping Christian Barmore is going to come back healthy.
Yep.
If not...
Just for his sake, too. Blood clots, that sucks. There's nothing you can do about that either.
Absolutely brutal. He ended up playing a little bit last year, so I'm hopeful he'll play this year.
Yeah, I'm sure he will.
And Bentley, these are guys that are going to go after the quarterback.
Veteran guys.
You have depth there. You can kick Tavai to the curb.
I think they're
Sayonara. I hope so. Because what a bum that guy was.
Yep.
And then you got guys like Spillane and Landry to go after the quarterback. I heard great things about the pickups with Robert Spillane and Morgan Moses.
Morgan Moses is also a huge addition.
On the intangibles with these guys, the leadership, adults, adults in the locker room. That's what we keep saying.
Yeah.
We're getting tired of the brats that play for some of these teams. These guys are going to hold people accountable. Mike Vrabel is going to install the culture. It's going to be good to see.
Oh, yeah, and I mean, that was his big thing when he came in, was installing the culture, and there's a new culture, and we're back to business. We're not with this, basketball hoops in the locker room and all that other crap.
Joke.
We thought it was a good idea at the time, hey, maybe it's something different, we're switching up the culture, blah, blah. No, it sucked.
They turned
terrible.
Into rats.
Let's get back to serious football. Let's get back to winning here.
Yeah.
I mean, there was a reason why Tom Brady and Bill Belichick are the GOATs.
Yep.
Because they were business. You come in, you play football, you win. That's it. That's all that matters. Play football, win, work hard.
Do your job.
And it works.
Yep.
It clearly works because we won 6 Super Bowls.
It was a program based on accountability.
Yeah.
And even the greatest quarterback of all time was held to he didn't get away with anything.
No.
He would get grilled more than anybody, and that's why it worked. Players like Randy Moss, players like Rob Gronkowski, Julian Edelman, would see Tom Brady, the greatest of all time, 4-time Super Bowl champion probably at the time, getting chewed out by the head coach.
Yep.
So if he's getting chewed out, I better zip my mouth and get to work. You know what I mean?
Because if not, I'm going to get chewed out worse.
Danny Amendola, like these guys, Teddy Bruschi, they'll see the greatest of all time getting chewed out and say, all right, I got to buckle up and get to it. You know
and
what I mean?
so I'm hopeful in New England, man. I think the Patriots, I mean, we made signed a couple of offensive linemen.
Oh, yeah.
I think we got 2 or 3 new offensive linemen.
You got the kid that got cut from Minnesota.
Yep.
You got some German dude.
Yep.
And then you got Morgan Moses.
Yeah.
You did not, and you actually got rid of David Andrews.
Yeah, which I don't know about that move. That move is highly suspect.
That is.
I don't. There had to be a good reason to do that because
he wanted to play.
He wanted to play, but I'm wondering if he wasn't fully right. You know what I mean? I wonder if his recovery wasn't.
That's his
100.
second shoulder surgery on the wrong side of 30.
Yeah.
So it's tough.
Yeah.
But that's an offensive lineman that knows McDaniel's system better than anyone else on the team.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like a quarterback himself for the offensive line. He's going to read the coverage and make the play, and then Drake's just got to deliver the ball.
Yeah.
So that's a really smart player that they got rid of. Big culture guy, too.
I wonder if it's because they want Drake to be that guy.
It might be.
I mean, it would be a good bridge guy, especially because he's older, clearly, and he was this probably would have been his last year.
I think so.
So I wonder if he was asking for more years in the contract, and they were like, "Dude, we don't want you to be the quarterback. We want our quarterback to be the quarterback."
Yeah.
And I'm sure he would have taken a step back, but when you're at that high level and you're that familiar, I feel like at the end of the day, you turn into it's one of those things where you're at the end of the day. You can't help yourself from being you run this way, you run that way, that. You can't help yourself from being a leader. He's just a leader.
Yeah.
So I wonder if they're you know what?
He's just captain, man.
Yeah.
You know?
So I wonder if they're you know what? We want Drake May to be the captain of this offense. He needs to learn to be the captain of his offense because when David Andrews inevitably retires, he's going to be lost, and we're going to take a step back.
Drake's got to be ready.
So maybe it's for the progression of Drake, which is a take I haven't heard.
No, and I get it. You know, I remember when Drake was the second string QB.
Yeah.
And a big thing that was going around was Drake. They wanted Drake to find the urgency to try to beat out Jacoby Brissett.
Yeah.
But Drake's a pretty respectful. I don't know. He's got the southern twang.
Yeah, he's got the southern respect to him.
He's just a southern sweetheart.
Yeah.
And he's I'm not gonna overstep my boundaries.
Yeah.
They've made Jacoby Brissett the starting quarterback. He's the guy.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Drake came in and freaking dominated.
Yeah.
So that's really on the team. Yeah. But I don't blame Drake because I'm telling you, the other guys in the locker room would see that and go, hey, this guy, he's not going to overstep his bounds. He's a number 3 overall pick, and he's not, going after someone that's a veteran on the team, you know?
Yeah.
So I give Drake May a lot of respect. Anyways, we got to talk about the draft now. We did a great deal on the veterans.
Yeah.
Milton Williams, awesome pickup. Spillane, amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Culture guys for Mike Vrabel.
Yep.
Mike Vrabel, basically the best version you could get of Bill Belichick.
Yeah.
It doesn't get more Bill Belichick than Mike Vrabel.
No.
Unless you actually bring Bill back from UNC now. Anyways.
And unage him 17 years.
Yeah, right. Bill, we'll see if he lost his fastball. There might be a program down there soon. In the ACC.
That's a good place for Bill at this point.
Yeah.
I think Bill still has the capability. Before we get to draft stuff, let's talk about Bill. We brought it up. We might as well. I think Bill could still coach a football team.
Yeah.
But I don't think he's the right fit right now for New England. Because he's never been a draft guy. He's never been a rebuild guy. He knows how to win. He knows how to call the right plays. But I think at this point in Bill's career, he needs a GM to make the GM moves. But he would never let anyone else be a GM.
Yes, exactly.
And I think
he is his own kryptonite.
Yeah, so I think that's why no one brought him on.
Yep.
If he could go to a team and go, hey, look, I could just be a coach. I'll just be your coach. I'll call the right plays. We'll win games. We'll win football games.
Super Bowl.
That's it.
Yep.
I'll run training. I'll run everything else. But I'll let I'll work with someone because like when
Yeah.
you're a coach, like the GM doesn't make all decisions by himself. They go to the coach and they say, "Hey, what do you think about this? I'm thinking about this." Like Jerry Jones makes all the decisions.
Yeah.
He's not listening to anybody, which is also his own kryptonite. But when you have like normal NFL world.
Yeah.
You have the GM go to the coach and say, what do you need? What do you think about this guy? Who do you think about this guy? Or the coach could go and be like, hey, I want this guy. How do we get this guy? And it's like a cooperative work environment.
Definitely.
And that was a lot of the things you heard at a Patriots camp for a long time of like, it's not cooperative. It's same thing with last year where
Mayo and Wolf, they were button heads.
They were button heads the whole time.
It was bad.
And that's why it never really worked because you need your GM to work with your head coach. Like, that's how this needs to work. And I think with Vrabel in the building, Elliot Wolf shouldn't have a job, but does.
Yeah, he should be gone.
He has a job, and he's been doing okay, even though I think all of these moves have been Vrabel moves.
I think Vrabel runs it. I think Vrabel's the guy.
I think he is the guy, but I think he'll take outside criticism and say, no, I think we should get this guy. I think we should get this guy.
Yeah.
And it doesn't seem like Kraft is really holding him back.
Yeah, I bet Wolf, can participate, but it's just Vrabel's call on everything.
Yeah.
And I think that's how it should be, because I think Wolf sucks.
Yeah, I think Wolf's
I don't know how he has a job, but...
And I guess Vrabel brought in, a new GM-ish guy.
Yeah, no, he did. He brought in one of his guys.
Yeah.
Into that room.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Wolf...
is just kind of, there.
But then he goes on the podium, and he goes, at the end of the day, it's my call.
Yeah.
You saw that?
Which is hilarious, because all of these trades and moves that the Vrabel have made have clearly been Vrabel moves. It's not even oh, this might have been Elliot Wolf picking up that guy. No, it's all been Vrabel. And Elliot Wolf is like, I like it. Good move. That's my move, right? You're going to say it's my move, and Vrabel's like, Pound Sam, you're fine.
What was the marquee signing out of Elliot Wolf last year? Chooks Okorafor, who was a right tackle from Pittsburgh. They moved him to left tackle, and he quit before week 1. He quit, and he said, I don't even want your money.
Yeah.
He just, went home. That was the big signing that Elliot Wolf did last year.
Yeah, and he quit.
Joke.
Yeah.
Joke.
That's classic Elliot Wolf.
So that's why he will not be running the draft. It will be Mike Vrabel.
Mike Vrabel and whoever Mike Vrabel's guy is.
Yeah, and speaking on it, Pat, we're at number 4.
Yes.
There's a lot of
question marks,
conversation, drama about what's going to happen. The Patriots went out of their way to have a Joe Milton superstar performance to fall out of the first pick down to number 4.
Mm-hmm.
And now there's a lot up in the air. There's 2 blue chip talents, potentially 3. A lot of people like Cam Ward.
Yep.
People say Cam Ward would be in the J.J. McCarthy, Michael Penix zone of last year's.
Which, by the way, the Vikings are holding on to J.J. McCarthy.
They're good. They're 2 good players.
Yeah.
I was a big Michael Penix fan, and I was also bullish, but I thought he was overrated on J.J. McCarthy.
Yeah.
But
I think he went in the right spot, though, J.J. McCarthy.
I think he did. I think J.J. McCarthy...
late first, or mid first.
But the story around McCarthy last year was him going number 1 before Caleb, before Jaden, and before Drake.
Yeah.
Which was bonkers to me.
Yeah.
It's what?
Yeah,
Chicago taking J.J. McCarthy number 1 overall. That's what people were talking about. This is insane.
Even though I might have been better than Caleb, but whatever.
He might be.
Maybe a little
Jury's
less
still out
a little
for
less
Caleb.
of a diva.
Jury's still out for Caleb. Jaden, monster.
Jaden is incredible.
Probably the best quarterback out of the last few years.
Give Drake May a good team, then we can finally make an
Drake
on him. But he looked really, really good with a really, really bad team.
Drake, promising.
Yeah, very promising.
Jaden, monster. Drake, promising. Very
Yeah.
You see it. You can see it. He's like Brett Favre, Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes put together.
Yeah.
Just physical freak.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's
got a cannon. He's got laser accuracy, and he runs. And he runs fast.
Who's the new quarterback coach? Is that McDaniels too? Is he doing quarterbacks too?
Yeah, I think they have McDaniels on QBs. Then they have Doug Marrone, who used to be a head coach for the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Yeah.
Is running your offensive line. That's big.
That's huge.
I think that's a good pickup.
Mm-hmm. Even though he's a head coach for the Jags, but
it was
that's just a trash organization. There's nothing you could do when you're the Jags. You're just a shit organization. And bleep that one out.
No,
but
I get
still.
It. I like the experience. Scott Peters, it was another rookie in his spot. Like all the coaches were rookies, except for the wide receiver coach in that room sucked.
Yeah.
But yeah, Scott Peters, it wasn't great. Doug Marrone is probably the best we can do post Scarnecchia.
Yeah, Scarnecchia, yeah.
The legend of offensive line. This guy made Trent Brown look like an all-pro.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Aging Trent Brown. Yeah.
Yep. It made him look like an absolute stud.
Yeah.
Pat, we're at number 4.
Yes.
What are we gonna do here?
Travis Hunter.
I'm all day Travis.
And realistically, at this point, it looks like
it
Travis,
could happen.
It looks like Travis Hunter isn't a reach. That's the crazy thing.
It could happen.
Because Travis Hunter is clearly the best player in the draft. I'm shocked. I could see Tennessee taking him number 1 overall.
Yeah.
But if you get Abdul Carter,
you take Abdul Carter. Because that's Micah Parsons' clone.
Because 2 and 3 are still going
QB.
Either way, yeah. How could they not?
I mean, the Browns retained Myles Garrett, right?
Yeah.
He didn't leave.
No, so they re-signed him.
So you go quarterback. You lost Winston.
Yep. Winston went to the Giants, I believe.
Winston went to the Giants. That's true.
That feels like a Jacoby Brissett move, though, doesn't it?
Dude, that quarterback room in New York, in MetLife Stadium,
does not exist.
It's Jameis Winston and Tommy Cutlets.
Yeah. Two
guys. That is a joke. That is a comedy punchline.
Neither one of those guys are franchise guys. That's why I think they have to take a quarterback in the draft. They have to. So they have to take a quarterback. And the Browns have to take a quarterback. So we essentially get our pick of whoever's left between Abdul Carter and Travis Hunter.
And that is your dream right there. I think the Browns got Kenny Pickett, but I'm not sure. I feel like I remember them getting Kenny Pickett for some reason. I think
but still,
for some reason, a big player in all of this, sadly, has to do with Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah.
Aaron Rodgers could go to the Pittsburgh Steelers or the New York Giants. And if he goes to the Giants, there's a world where they don't go QB and they either go with one of those 2 blue chips.
Yeah.
Or he doesn't, and they draft a quarterback.
I kind of have a weird feeling that the Giant what's his name? Aaron Rodgers is waiting for the draft. That's what he's waiting for, to see what the Giants. Yeah, Aaron Rodgers,
I hate him.
If I was both of those teams, I wouldn't take him at this point. He's making everyone wait. Really?
He's boys with McAfee. It wasn't McAfee's pod. It was someone else's
pod. It might have been McAfee's pod, because, they've been talking shit about Aaron Rodgers, too. I know they're boys,
though.
But,
I don't know. I don't think it was McAfee's pod. It was someone else's pod. And they were like, if Aaron Rodgers promised he would sign with your team, he would only do it if you went into the cave with him. Would you go in the cave?
Oh, yes.
Was that
I heard about this. No, it wasn't McAfee, but it was another podcast. It was
Are you going to the darkness?
One of the Steelers guys. It was one of the longtime Steelers offensive linemen.
Yeah, and the Steelers guy is like, dude, no.
No, I'm not going to the cave.
Either you watch
it was his podcast.
It was?
It was the Steelers guy's podcast, yeah. And he's like, no, I'm absolutely not. Either you want to be a Pittsburgh Steeler or you don't.
Or you don't.
That's it. I'm not going to a cave with you.
I'm glad you heard that. I'm glad you heard that.
That's hilarious.
A lot hangs in the balance.
I would love to see Aaron Rodgers just not be on a team.
Dude, same. He just makes it all about him.
The Giants draft a quarterback and they're like, you know what, Aaron, we're good.
Yeah, you know what?
Especially when they just got Jameis,
Yeah, I mean, at that point,
our team already stinks, so let's at least get a quarterback and rebuild and not pay Aaron Rodgers $1 bajillion for no reason to still suck. Or the Steelers, on the other hand, they're like, we'll just re-sign Russ. Like, whatever. DK wants to play with Russ.
I bet he goes to the Steelers.
Yeah,
that's my prediction.
Which is gonna get Tomlin fired.
Because what happened was, I will. Tomlin will finally be fired, and he's a great coach, but
awesome coach.
They're gonna go 9-8.
Yep.
They're gonna make the playoffs, and they're gonna lose the first round.
Yep. And they're gonna make a wild card and then lose in the first round.
And then Rodgers is gonna get him canned.
Yep.
No, I mean they just got DK Metcalf. They got their second receiver to go alongside George Pickens. They still got
DK
Najee Harris
Metcalf wants to play with Russell.
Yeah, I know, but I think things didn't end great between Russell and Tomlin.
No.
Something happened.
Yeah, because Russell's a soft diva.
He is.
And Tomlin's a hard ass. I don't care.
Tomlin's not listening to any of it.
I don't care about your feelings, you diva. Shut up.
There's actually I didn't get to this. There's actually like a new player here that's getting involved in the top 4 picks.
Oh, yeah.
Armand Membu.
Oh, not who I was
out of Missouri.
Yeah, giant.
Offensive tackle.
Giant.
Like 320, 6'4" or something.
Yeah.
Big dude, huge. They're mocking him to the Giants, which blows me away. Like,
but it's the Giants.
Like, dude, I mean, apparently
the Giants and the Jets are playing the same stadium. They're both stupid.
They are. Like, there's a world where the Pats go Membu. Apparently, he's going to be the number 1 left tackle in the draft because the Will Campbell disaster at the Combine.
Yeah.
He went from, like, the number 1 left tackle prospect in the league to, he's got the shortest hands of all time for left tackles.
Yeah.
So, like,
you know, it'd be
disaster.
Funny if Will Campbell falls to the 2nd round and we pick him up.
That would be hilarious, but someone's taking a shot on him.
Yeah.
Like the Chiefs, the Bills,
yeah.
Someone that can afford it, where it's like, okay, if this goes wrong, we can move him to guard and we'll be fine.
Yeah.
The Patriots have like 3 guards on their bench.
Yeah.
Like, they don't want any more guards.
No.
They need a bona fide
They have 3
tackle.
guards that are like, we're left tackles, and you're like, no, you're not, you're a guard.
They need a bona fide left tackle, and what they need to do, hot take, they need to trade Joe Milton, get a 3rd round pick back, move like your 2nd and 2/3.
You really think we can get a 3rd round pick for
You
Joe
can get a 3rd.
You think so?
That's the price tag for him right now, 3rd round pick.
Really?
You move a 2nd and 2/3 because you got a 3rd for Judon last year.
Yeah.
So a 2nd, 2/3, you still have your 3rd. Move back up into the back end of the 1st round. Take a left tackle. You go Travis Hunter at 4. Left tackle in the late 1st, like 20s, 25 maybe.
Yeah.
Someone else is getting your 2nd, which is a really good pick, and then 2 3rd round picks back. And you still have a 3rd.
Yeah.
So cash it in, build up that offensive line. Vidarian Lowe as a backup left tackle isn't that bad.
No.
Layden Robinson as one of your centers, not that bad, just a part-time center.
Yeah.
And
I think
he's better than Strange.
Like maybe not this year, but next year we get another center in the draft.
Yeah, you go center.
And you, yeah.
Definitely.
But like 4th spot right now really isn't a horrible place to be in because you can pivot any direction you want. Like if like in some world somehow Travis Hunter and Abdul Qadir are not on the board.
Yeah.
At 4. You take the best left tackle and call it a day, and you're still happy.
Yeah, you probably go Membu.
You're happy with the 2 best players or the best left tackle, which is what you need the most.
That's your biggest need.
Yeah.
You know, and it sucks that maybe you take a shot on, you can find receivers in the 2nd round. They just can't freaking do it. They mess it up every time.
But it's a new organization now.
So maybe,
who knows?
Maybe Vrabes can find the guy. Maybe you could swing a trade, try to figure out how to get A.J. Brown here.
Yeah.
Or maybe you could sign Steph Diggs to get you through 1 year.
Yeah.
If you can't get
Travis. That's the biggest thing about... also, before I move on to... That's the biggest thing about... that. Hold on. All right. Let me... I got 2 things.
Do your thing.
First of all, before I forget it, that's the biggest thing about this offseason. we missed on every single receiver we took a shot on. The big one, Chris Godwin, literally took a $20 million pay cut to not play for us. Yep. That's bad.
That's bad.
Is that true? We don't know yet. But that's what everyone's saying. Yeah. So, that's bad.
I buy it.
I believe it. And then...
That sucks.
And then, so you missed on him. You didn't even take the phone call on DK.
Nope.
You didn't even make a phone call, which, like, I'm kind of okay with.
I wanted Metcalf.
I wanted Metcalf too, but he's a diva, and I don't think we need that in the locker room right now.
I get that.
But like, he's still a good player. Who cares? Like, just Vrabel, just kick him in the ass and call it a day.
Honestly.
So you missed on Godwin. You didn't even call on Metcalf. You missed on Cup. Yep. You missed on... Who was the one who recently got signed to a different team, too? There's another one that just recently got signed. Brandon Cooks would have been a good pickup, but you didn't. I'm sure you didn't call on him. There's a lot of guys you missed on at wide receiver, and I'm pretty sure you missed on all of them because none of them wanted to play here. Like, we could have gotten Cup if we traded for Cup. We should have traded for Cup. That way we could at least guarantee to have him. You have the most money in the league.
I know.
You have more money to spend than every other team in the NFL combined. That's a stat.
Dude, and you haven't spent
$81 million to spend. Spend it on Cup for 2 years.
Yeah, honestly.
That's like a reasonable time to spend the money on like a really good receiver, even though he's aging and everything. But by then you have 2 new ones.
Yeah, exactly.
Like you like, I don't know.
By then maybe Javon Baker's a player.
Yeah.
Or maybe Polk turns it around.
Yeah.
I think both those guys are getting cut in like 4 months, but that's another story.
That was my other take.
Yeah.
Have you noticed that like all of these media people recently have been like, Polk in the Patriots organization have been like, Polk is gonna turn it around this year. Has anyone else noticed that? That's what everyone's been talking about. Polk is going to turn around this year, and he's gonna be the guy we thought he was.
They said the same thing
what
about
makes you think
Tyquan Thornton.
Yeah, and he stunk.
He got cut.
Yeah.
They said the same thing.
And he got cut.
He couldn't play.
No.
And I feel like Jalen Polk, he doesn't really...
We put too much pressure on him. What pressure? You had 2 guys that were better than him.
He doesn't have, like, one distinct ability that sets him apart.
He's, like, kind of fast.
He's, like, a contested catch player with no hands.
Yeah.
Like, you gotta have hands if you're not fast.
Yeah.
Or you gotta run money routes.
But he looks really good in practice.
He gets lost.
Yeah.
He gets lost. Meanwhile, Javon Baker doesn't know what a route is.
Yeah, no.
Kayshon Boutte is the light in the darkness.
Yeah.
At least he can go over the top sometimes and try to make a catch.
Yeah, which is bad when you have a rookie quarterback.
I know, there's no one to throw to. It's just the tight ends.
Yeah.
And when you're using the tight ends in passing situation, they're not blocking. And then you got
no one else to block.
Vidarian,
very low.
Vidarian turnstile.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean?
Vidarian street cone low. Like,
so they need to block.
Yep.
And they need to catch. They do have the quarterback.
Yeah.
So we give them that. But
and they have more blocking.
And their defense is going to keep them in games now.
Yeah.
Like, I they might not be great this year.
No, I think
they might be playoffs. They might be like fun bad. They might be
but
competing.
Like the division kind of sucks right now though. Like the Jets are ass.
Dolphins suck.
The Dolphins suck.
And then the Bills.
And the Bills are good.
Trying to hang in
they
there.
keep every year they lose people and don't sign anyone good.
They are on the verge
of being bad.
The 49ers last year.
Yeah.
They're on the verge of They played a lot of football over the last 4 years. Like deep playoff runs ending in failure.
Mm-hmm.
And then we saw what happened to the 49ers this year.
Yeah.
They freaking tanked and then they blew it up in the offseason.
Yep.
Everyone's gone. 49ers are back down to...
And then they signed Josh Allen to a ginormous contract, so now they have no more money.
They have no more money.
Like,
yep.
What are you doing? What are you doing? Like, I'd rather be in our situation where, we have a good quarterback on a small contract. Eventually, we're going to have to pay him, which is fine.
Yeah.
But that's in another, 3 years.
Yeah.
Now you could have a competitive team with a young quarterback, sign good players. Once, this is, an appealing place to play.
Exactly.
Good players will start coming, And then all of a sudden, you have plenty of money to sign good players when this team proves it doesn't stink.
Dude, the time is now. The quarterback is on the rookie deal.
Yeah.
The time is now, and they're not doing anything on the offensive side. All that money, the defense, I love it. I love what they did on the defense. They got some marquee guys.
Yep.
They got guys that go after the quarterback. They got guys in the secondary because we all know Jonathan Jones was cashed at this point. Marcus Jones, fun player, too small.
Yeah.
Scrappy guy, people are going to catch over him.
Yeah, but fun guy to like throw in the mix.
But like Carlton Davis and Gonzalez together, money.
Especially if you throw
Money
Travis
second.
Hunter out there sometimes.
Get a free safety. Maybe Travis is going to start playing free safety for this team on the back end.
Or like you're doubling
I
a
know
guy.
he's going to be like
You have Carlton Davis and Gonzo on one guy.
yeah. But like
That guy's not catching anything.
dude, you're playing the Philadelphia Eagles. You got Gonzalez on Brown, and you got Davis on Smith. And that's pick city. Jalen Hurts, throw it up there all day. Oh, you want to run it? You want to go with Saquon? Guess who's there? Milton Williams, your old buddy from last year. Or
Who knows
Christian
all your
Barker.
plays, by the way.
Oh, Jawan Bentley.
Yeah.
He's right there waiting for
All those guys are
Barkley. They're
right
gonna
there.
Throw him down on the ground. Dude, that defense can compete with anyone. Especially with Rabes. They are going to compete. On the offensive side, it's just going to be Drake being a hero.
Yeah.
I think Stevenson's cashed. I really like the backup running back.
I wouldn't hate if we picked up a running back in the draft too.
Yeah,
In, like, the
I wouldn't
second or
hate it.
third round.
Take
We
a
have
shot on
three
running
picks
back.
in the third, or 2 picks in the third round.
Yeah, you have 2 third-round picks.
Pick up a running back.
Yep, you need an offensive tackle, and you need a safety.
Yeah.
You have great, strong safeties. I like the playing box safety with Duggar,
Yeah.
and I don't even know if Pepper's still here. But
He is. He's
Peppers.
still hanging around. Yeah.
But you need your McCourty.
Yeah.
Once McCourty, it's the same thing with Brady.
Yeah.
Once McCourty left, they were like, I don't know. They threw their hands up.
Throw some guys in there. It's like,
oh,
no.
Duggar, you're gonna be the Devin McCourty of our safeties, and meanwhile, like Cooper Kupp is all alone,
In the middle of nowhere. And you're like,
even
Duggar's not fast.
No, he's not. He's not a
Travis
coverage
Hunter in the McCourty spot would be
money. I think that's what they're gonna do.
Yeah.
Instead of being full-time corner, because that's taxing.
Yeah, you can't do
You're
that.
gonna get tired, man.
Yeah.
Like they're gonna.
In the league, you can't do that, but that would be a good spot for
But-
Travis Hunter, man.
Travis as like a full, because even the kid.
Especially while he's young.
Do you remember the kid they drafted? Bill drafted this like hybrid safety linebacker thing.
Oh, yeah.
And I was so high on him back in the day.
Now we can't even remember his name.
Can't remember his name right now. But I remember I was ecstatic about this guy. But he's not a free safety. He's literally Kyle Duggar clone.
Yeah.
Like they
Duggar, great pickup. Like, he's a great pick.
yeah.
But,
they need their
like, actual athletic safety.
coverage safety.
That'd be a great spot for Travis.
I think Travis, because Travis reads
he would
the ball.
do it too.
He's got an amazing body control. He's got speed. He's
Dude,
he's
the
a
kid just
he's
wants
smart.
to play too.
He's a football player.
Yeah.
He's a Heisman winner, football guy.
Dude, if we get Travis Hunter too, that defense.
I'm telling you, primarily though,
stupid.
he is going to be the wide receiver 1 on this team.
Oh, 100%.
That is his role.
100%.
But as a flavor
Yeah.
in safety,
And like, you
would
don't
be-
have to throw him in on every play. Just
No.
throw him in when you need him.
no, on like a big third down play. Oh, guess who's checking in? Trav.
Yep.
Trav in free safety. And maybe he makes like some big picks. Dude, you're not going to want to throw against Davis, Gonzalez, and Hunter
No.
in the backfield.
No.
That is scary.
Yeah.
Those are better pass catchers than your receivers on the other
Yeah.
team, you know, like Smith
Yeah.
and freaking Brown for that
And Davis
example.
is physical too. Like, you could throw Davis on like a DK,
Dude,
and he
and
beat him up.
body
all
him
day.
up.
Yeah.
Body him up.
Which like I'm okay with. Like, he's gonna get PIs.
Yeah.
He had 7 PIs last year.
Yeah.
But like,
But he roughs up receivers.
which is good because sometimes you need that.
especially on like a number 2, like
Like, you play
let's
the
say it's
Chiefs.
Jordan Addison.
Put him on. You play the Chiefs or Jordan Addison.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
you're playing the Vikes and you start bodying up Addison. You start slowing him down. That's a smaller kid, you know?
Yeah.
And then meanwhile, Gonzalez is on Jefferson. He's
Yeah.
on him. Take him out of the... You see Gonzalez take people out of games.
Oh yeah.
Jamar Chase last year was non-existent.
I would say because he was in my fantasy team.
I would say Christian Gonzalez ended Tyreek Hill's career.
Yeah.
The last time you saw Tyreek Hill play well was before he ran into Christian Gonzalez.
Dude, honestly.
Took him out of the game.
He had like a couple big games after that.
Tyreek Hill was never the same.
No.
So, I'm telling you, that secondary is elite, and they built an amazing front four.
Travis Hunter would be such a sick addition
They need Trav.
Dude, you couldn't throw on that team.
Dude, you gotta pray.
If we get Travis Hunter, I'm getting his jersey.
Me too.
I'm getting his jersey.
Pray he falls to
a
to
red
4.
Travis Hunter jersey.
Yeah. Dude, Drake and Trav, money. It would be money. I'm telling you, he's just the purest athlete on the field.
Oh yeah,
at all times.
And he just works, man.
He's gonna get by guys. Works. Josh McDaniels is gonna make him something super on offense. Like, you're gonna have the
next. Because look what he did with all the guys with Brady. Like, it's Brady being Brady, but like at the same time, they're still gonna catch the ball. Dude, they're still gonna run routes.
Dude, Josh McDaniels turned freaking Danny Amendola, Wes Welker, and Julian Edelman into freaking monster players.
Yeah, I mean,
definitely Brady.
Brady got them the ball, but like they still ran hell of a routes and like worked their ass off.
McDaniels is a slept-on pickup.
Dude,
big.
I'm fired up.
Big.
I'm fired up in the Patriots.
Me too.
Before I get way too fired up.
That was good though.
Bruins.
Yeah, we gotta do some bees.
We gotta talk about that dumpster fire.
We gotta talk bees. Dude, they blew it up, and they had to.
That team's done.
It was time, and I want to say it right here first off.
We've been talking about trading Brad Marchand for a long time.
We were even ahead on the Jeremy Swayman.
Yeah.
Nonsense. Everyone, all the Bruins fans were PO'd at Don Sweeney about signing Jeremy Swayman. They were like, "You gotta sign Swayman. You gotta sign Swayman. Look at what he did for us in the playoffs. You gotta sign him."
Stinks.
Worst goalie in the sport right now.
Yeah.
He is a train wreck.
Yeah.
And meanwhile, Linus Ullmark leading that team to the playoffs.
Yep.
Jonas Korpisalo is better than Swayman right now.
Yep.
Jeremy Swayman is the bottom of the barrel. I want to say we were ahead of that like months before anyone else. And now all the Bees fans are pissed that they signed Jeremy Swayman when at the same time they literally were pissed that they didn't sign him.
Bruins fans
drive me crazy.
Are so dramatic.
Drive me crazy.
Like they're always like Celtics fans are the worst. No, we're not.
Now we're pissed about the Brad Marchand trade, dude.
Why are you pissed about that trade?
That pick could turn into a first round pick.
Yeah.
If it's already a second.
Which is huge, by the way.
Also, when it changes is in like 2028. The Panthers are going to be bad then.
Yeah.
So this was a pretty good return. I'm telling you, what has to happen is Brad Marchand has to play in like 30 or 40% of the playoff games, and they have to win like one round. And then that second round pick turns into a first round pick when the Panthers will be bad.
Which, by the way,
is a good return.
Can we remember at the same time that Brad Marchand is the most durable player ever?
Yeah. No, he's going to scrap. He's going to play.
He's going to play.
And I'm telling you.
And the Panthers are going to win a playoff game. A round of the playoffs. In fact, the
Panthers are probably going to win it all.
Yeah.
Like,
so it's going to be a first round pick.
It's going to be a first round pick.
Like, and the reason why Brad Marchand went to that team with conditions is because that's where he wanted to go.
Dude, and, well, Brad Marchand...
He wanted to stay, but if he was going to leave, at least send me to Florida and I'll have a nice time.
Yeah, there was like rumors he was going to go to Colorado with... Is it McDavid? I think it's McDavid.
Yeah.
From Pittsburgh. And there was going to be like a super team in Colorado. Didn't happen. I think the best return was from Florida.
Yeah.
Because it's a conditional second round pick, could turn into a first. And they haven't had like a first round pick in years. Where Don Sweeney sucks is the draft.
Yeah.
The kid that they drafted this year is in college and he has like 0 goals. He's a center, and he's sucking right now. I can't even remember his name. He sucks, and then basically like all their draft picks have sucked. Like there's busts, and then they don't have picks. Where he should be done is the draft. Someone else has to do that.
Yeah,
100%.
Like, I don't mind Don Sweeney in general. Like, as a GM, like, he's all right. He made all these moves in the offseason. Like, at least he has the balls to do that.
Dude,
but like,
who would have saw Elias Lindholm freaking drop down like he has? Elias Lindholm was the premier center.
Yeah.
And they needed a center.
Yeah.
And he sucked all year.
Terrible.
You know, like that's not on Sweeney. I'm sorry.
No, that's not on Sweeney. So like, I think Don Sweeney is like a solid GM. He'll spend.
Yeah.
He'll play with different players. He'll bring guys in.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, look at our team like 2 years ago. It was a super team.
Dude, yeah. And last year you went to 6 games against the Stanley Cup champion in the second round.
Yeah.
Like, that's not really on you.
No.
What they did right though was at the deadline they tore it down. This year has not gone well for them.
Mm-mm.
A lot of things went wrong. Jeremy Swayman in the preseason with all the BS all
God, that
day
was so annoying.
about him setting the market for the future goalies.
Yeah, like, shut up, you stink.
Meanwhile, he's never been a full-time player. He's only been the backup.
Yeah.
For Linus. Horrible. And then the coach...
But he's a Vezina guy. Who cares? He stinks.
The coach freaking... I forget what... I had a funny word to say, but I can't think of it. I'm thinking of... Is it Agent C? What was the Vietnam War... Like...
Oh, I forget.
Freaking...
Agent...
Fire NATO thing.
Oh, yeah.
Whatever that's called.
Yeah.
I'm cutting this out. But, he torpedoed his way out.
Yeah.
The head coach. Head coach torpedoes his way out of this place. And then, dude, they have, like, no one left.
No.
They're, like, sucking. Brad Marchand is trying to get, like, a 3-year extension, by the way. And the Bruins aren't giving it to him.
No.
But they still want to give him the 3... That's how dumb they are. The Bruins, not even the fans, like, the front office.
Yeah.
They want to extend this 35-year-old...
I think he's older than that.
Like...
He might be 38.
Like, this guy is so old.
Yeah.
And he still has value now.
Oh, of course.
Barely.
Yeah.
He still has value.
But he's not a starter.
No.
Like, he's not a starter anymore.
And
he's a bench guy.
And here...
He has to be a starter.
Here he's like the captain, and he's like the number 2 option on the team. It's David Pastrnak, and it's Brad Marchand.
Yeah, I'm just glad they didn't get rid of Pastrnak. I thought there was totally a world where they can get rid of Pastrnak.
I thought they would hold on to him. I thought McAvoy was gone, but
I don't think anyone wants him.
He hurt himself in the 4 seasons. I thought he played well in the 4 seasons and that
4 Nations.
4 Nations, and then he like hurt himself, so his value dropped.
Yeah.
So that's why no one wanted him. Maybe McAvoy can turn around. He had flashes in the 4 Nations where I'm like, okay, maybe I can believe in you again because you betrayed me, like stabbed me in the heart. I was a big McAvoy guy before last year.
Yeah.
No, I mean they shipped out some like nobody, like guys that had to go. Coyle had to go.
Carlo? No.
Brandon Carlo had to go. There's another one in there, like these mid guys. Put them on teams that are competing for the playoffs, dude. You're not ready for that.
No.
Like, you're barely scratching into the playoffs.
Your time was 2 years ago when you won the most games in a season, and then
like the team is past their prime. Like
Yeah.
they're past their prime now. They got to start rebuilding.
Yep.
They got to hit on players. They need to hit on players. Like you can't do the Patriots thing and miss on first round picks.
No.
Like Cole Strange, N'Keal Harry, Mac Jones, 3 years of like first round picks that are not on your team.
Yep.
Cole Strange is barely here.
Yeah, he's still hanging in somehow.
Anyways,
well, Cole Strange doesn't even play most of the time.
No, I
He's
know.
Constantly in.
I don't even know if they're gonna find a role for him right now. Like City So might be better than him right now. Mike Onwenu is your right guard.
Yeah.
So either Strange is gonna figure out center with Layden Robinson, or he's out of a job.
He's got to figure something out.
He's got to figure something out. That's your Bees minute. They got to do well on the draft. You know, I think
really
it might
all
be.
there is to it,
I think it's a tankathon in the Garden.
Yeah.
Like, you know, just try to get a high pick. Don't lose on purpose, but scrap your way around and
win a couple games here and there and
yeah,
get a good draft pick. Really.
try to get a high pick. Try to hit on a pick. Jeez.
Yeah.
Opening day.
Coming up.
Opening day. 4 days away.
Yep.
Something like that. Garrett Crochet is gonna be starting for you.
Yep.
Dude. I think he's 6'5", 266 pounds, left-handed with a four-seamer
At 25 years old.
that moves. 26.
26.
26 years old. Stud.
Yeah.
Stud.
Yeah.
Not extended, by the way. So you have him for this year and the following year, and then he's a free agent. They gotta extend him yesterday.
Yeah, why is he not extended?
That should have been... You've had him for like 2 or 3 months. You gotta get that done.
Yeah.
Now.
Yeah.
Every time he steps on the hill, it's gonna be more expensive.
Oh yeah?
Every time because he's right there with Tarek Skubal. He's better than freaking Garrett Cole.
Well, Garrett Cole's at the end of his career.
I think
Garrett Cole won't even be playing this year.
He's not even playing this year. I think Crochet is right there with Alcantara. I think he's better. He might be better than Yamamoto, better than, I don't know, freaking Ohtani, dude. Crochet's right there.
Yeah.
He's right there with all these guys.
Solid pitcher.
And left-handed pitchers
or a diamond,
they're freaking,
it's not a diamond dozen. The opposite of that.
They're like diamonds
yeah,
in the rough.
Yeah, you need that
because righties struggle.
Yeah,
you can go upstairs on a righty, and they can't even freaking make it. It's like choking them.
Yeah,
you know. I really like the move, but it's gonna kill fans if you lose him. So
yeah, you can't
do the John Lester thing with him.
No. Especially at this point where we're rebuilding.
Yeah.
You got him to rebuild.
Oh, yeah.
You cannot let him leave.
No.
Before you rebuild.
You gave up Kyle Teal and Braden Montgomery.
2 giant players in the farm.
Yeah, those are 2 top-tier first-round picks. One of them was the #1 catcher in the minor leagues. The other one was an ascending outfield prospect. Might be, the next Roman Anthony behind. You know, there's 2 amazing players that you gave up. You have to lock this guy in.
Yeah.
You have to.
Yeah.
Go 180 million. Whatever it takes, freaking
give him his money.
Get it done.
And lock him up for a while.
Lock him up for a solid 6-8 year deal.
Yeah.
180, 240 million.
Even at some point he's like, oh, Tommy John's gotta take the year off. That's fine.
Dude, it's fine.
You have him still. He's young enough. He's 26. That's so young.
Yeah, he is younger than Chris Sale, and he is a hell of a lot bigger than Chris Sale.
And better.
Probably just as good.
Yeah, fair.
When they first traded for Sale,
Sale was unbelievable.
Money.
Unbelievable.
But Sale had a lot of injury concerns because he was a freaking twig.
Yeah, he was a twig. And the way he pitched too, which was so
dude, you snap it. You freaking snap your elbow. Yeah. I mean, Crochet does a similar thing, but dude, he's freaking jacked. He is.
He's in shape. Yeah.
He's a tank.
Yeah.
So you got to lock him up. Walker Bueller's on a 1-year prove-it deal. I love it.
Yeah.
Because Bueller is going to be a free agent, so he's got to pitch the best he can for his market.
Yeah.
You should lock up Bueller, but maybe not on a massive deal.
Yeah, give him a pretty good deal. Because he's older too, right?
Yeah, but Bueller's going to pitch to try to get a big deal.
Yeah.
So if you lose him, you lose him. But you have him for this run this year.
Yeah.
Which is really big, because you also have Bregman on this run.
Mm-hmm.
Bregman fixes almost everything.
Yeah, he's on
in the lineup
though, right?
Bregman is on a 3-year deal with player options in all 3 years. He can leave at any time.
Oh, lovely.
But he makes...
What?
It was the only way to get him. Because the AAV is...
Because he's if we suck,
I'm out.
then I'm out. Yeah.
Or if he balls out, I'm out.
Yeah.
But right now the AAV is $30 million a year, so it's like bread. But it's only a 3-year deal, whereas like Detroit was giving him a 7-year deal with, I think it was like 180. So the money was almost the same.
Yeah, but over 7 years.
But it was over 7 years. The AAV was a lot less. Mm-hmm. This is big money up front with options to leave.
Yeah.
That was the only way he was going to sign here without a 6 or 7 year deal, which John.
Well, because it's like the
didn't want to
Patriots.
give
Why
him.
would anyone want to sign here?
I mean, people wanted to sign.
Yeah, because it's
in
Boston.
Fenway.
Because it's Boston.
People wanted to sign here, but they were freaking greedy. They did not want to pay for players.
No.
They got burned by Chris Sale, and I think they got burned by Nate Eovaldi.
Yeah.
Not because like these players were brats or anything like that. They were just injury prone.
Well, Chris Sale was a brat.
He was a brat. Nathan Eovaldi wasn't.
No.
But these two guys were like injury prone like crazy.
Yeah.
Like they just were never on the field.
Yeah.
So I think Fenway Sports Group really backed up.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, you got some really like exciting players right now, so you gotta like build around it. It's exciting to see the roster come together. You're looking at Jaron Duran, who was in the MVP conversation last year as your leadoff guy. Rafael Devers at DH now.
Which he's not happy about.
He is being a brat about it.
Yeah.
But
you're not a good third baseman. I'm sorry, you're not. You're not a great third baseman. Just let Bregman play third base. If he leaves, great. You got third place back. But if he doesn't, sorry, he's better than you.
Yeah, he's a Gold Glove at third. They're going to be turning double plays.
Yeah.
A lot.
Yeah.
Whereas before, Devers would get to the ball late. If not, the ball get by him. You know what I mean? And like, Devers is an amazing bat. That's why he would be really good at DH.
Just hit the ball, and he's slow and doesn't run to base. Well, I guess that doesn't help his DH cause.
I think like the biggest argument for like Devers at DH is you look at what happened with Ohtani last year. Like before, Ohtani was this generational two-way kind of guy. He's a Cy Young candidate on the hill, and he's a freaking MVP behind or next to the plate.
Yeah.
Right? So he injures his arm, and the only way he can play is as a DH.
Yeah.
And what happens to Ohtani as only the DH? He starts his own 50-50 club.
Yeah.
50 home runs, 50 stolen bags. Like, if you only have to focus on one thing in the game with your talent, you can do some special things in the sport.
Yeah.
Ohtani is Ohtani. He's going to go down as the greatest of all time.
Yeah.
But Devers, while not as talented as Ohtani, maybe he can hit like 45 home runs this year. Maybe he can drive in 200, 200. Maybe he can drive in like 140 RBIs.
Yeah.
Right? Maybe he can hit like 350.
When Aaron Judge broke the record, how many home runs did he have?
Aaron Judge, I think, got like 55.
Yeah.
But Ohtani got more. It was really like the 60-50 club.
Yeah.
Like he had 50 stolen bags and like almost 60 home runs.
Which is insane.
Special player.
He's insane.
I wanted him.
We could have him.
Just open up the freaking wallet, dude.
And say whatever the hell you want.
Dude, they paid like a crazy price for the soccer team. They got like a superstar, right?
For Liverpool?
Yeah. They got like a superstar. They're like #1 in Premier.
Mm-hmm.
We could have got Ohtani. Come on, man.
We could have got Ohtani, but you know.
We have the pockets.
Doesn't make as much money. Red Sox make less than Liverpool. Sorry.
Yeah, they probably do.
They do. Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I'll still take the money.
Yeah, I mean,
you're still making the money.
Yeah.
Like, sorry, the Blackhawks suck.
the Penguins.
The Penguins, yeah. Sorry, the Penguins stink.
Yeah.
Like better than the Bruins, though, at this point.
Yeah, I think they are. Yeah, so, I mean, Devers, DH,
I don't hate it.
I think he could do some great things for them at DH.
Yeah.
Bregman will be batting third. Your right-handed hitter in there now.
Mm-hmm.
You have a legit top-of-the-order right-handed bat, which you didn't have before. Big. Because then you slot Cassis right behind.
Yep.
That 1-2-3 of Devers, Bregman, Cassis is like legit. Yeah. People are going to get on base.
Duran's looking really good this year, too.
He's going to do his thing.
You know who I'm really intrigued about this year? Trevor Story.
Yeah. It's
like,
a big year for him.
Where is he playing? Outfield? Or
Shortstop.
Yeah. Which is what
That's his position.
That's his position.
Yep.
He's finally in his position.
And, yeah, he was there last year, but he just got hurt. Like,
yeah, all the time.
He's like Gordon Hayward of like the Red Sox.
I'm intrigued.
He just goes down.
I'm intrigued to see how he does this year. If he stays healthy, I'm intrigued to see how he is. Because his bat also sucked last year.
And it sucked for a big reason. The big reason was he was always like getting rushed back in to MLB level pitching. Yeah. You know, like you're rehabbing and now you're on the big league.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Because we need you.
Because we need you now because we suck. Yeah. We really need you for your glove because holy shit. The defense was so bad for so long.
So bad.
David Hamilton, as much as I love Rafaela in center, not a shortstop.
No.
They had Christian Arroyo playing shortstop at times.
And he's a right
Nick Sogard. Like, these guys...
It's crazy you have Arroyo at the bottom of your lineup, too, now. Like...
I don't even know if Arroyo's still here.
He is.
Christian Arroyo?
Still here.
No way.
He's a young kid, right?
You're thinking of Campbell.
No, I'm thinking of Arroyo. He played right field last year. Right?
You're thinking of Abreu.
Abreu, that's what I'm thinking of, yes.
And Abreu's
solid.
Good. Yeah, he's solid.
Solid player. I'm glad we didn't lose him.
That's actually a Silver Slugger.
Yeah.
Gold Glove.
Yeah.
Perennial.
Yeah.
And he's only like second year in the league. He's gonna win that award, both those awards every year.
Yeah.
A great player.
Yeah.
That's why it's really hard to move on from him, because Roman Anthony's behind him.
Yeah.
And it's like, you really don't want an outfield of 3 left fielders. No. I mean, 3 left-handed hitters.
Oh, yeah.
It would be Duran, Anthony, and Abreu.
Yeah.
It would be a lot of offensive spunk, but they're all left-handed. You start to get pretty left-handed heavy.
Yeah.
And Rafaela is an electric factory out there.
Oh, yeah.
He makes plays.
Yeah, he's fast.
He's one of those elite gloves in the outfield. So they got to figure stuff out. They have Rob Refsnyder, too. Mm-hmm. I love his role.
Yeah.
And I think Rob Refsnyder is going to inherit the team as, like, the manager at some point.
Yeah.
That is, like, my favorite player on the team.
Yeah, Rob Refsnyder, yeah. I do love Rob.
I love Rob Refsnyder. Because he goes in there, because he was, like, the only righty at times.
Yeah.
Before Rafaela was, like, when Rafaela was in Worcester, they would face a left-handed hitter. No one could hit it except
Rob.
Rob goes up there and freaking cranks it.
Yeah.
Because he's, like, the lefty assassin. That's, like, his role.
Yeah.
But he's also, like, a stand-up guy, leader in the locker room, no drama, no BS like the Patriots wide receiver room with Pop Douglas getting hammered the night before the Jacksonville game, and Demario Douglas, I just said Pop Douglas, but like freaking Javon Baker getting pulled over in Logan and then going on TikTok about it. Like, none of that BS.
No.
With those brats, those kids.
Yeah.
Guys like Rob Refsnyder.
Adult.
Stand up, man. Stand up, gentleman.
Rob Refsnyder, the most random guy in the Boston Red Sox. Stand up, gentleman, leader.
We need you on the pod.
Like, yeah, can we get, Rob Refsnyder on the pod would be electric.
He would be welcomed.
Oh, yeah.
Welcome.
Rob, you can come on anytime.
Well, Rob, anytime. Anytime.
Be a DM, like, tomorrow when it's released.
Yes, like,
I'll come in.
Yeah, totally. I'll be there. All right. I mean, yeah, so I basically went down through the lineup. I went through, like... We didn't really touch the starters too much. It's a little shaky with the rotation.
I have no idea what the rotation's going to be.
Dude, Giolito threw one pitch.
Yeah.
So remember, he was out all last year.
Yeah.
Because he needed a surgery. Some BS. He throws one pitch in spring training, and then bam, done. Hamstring tightness. Are you out all year? Like, what are we doing?
Yeah.
Bayo, shoulder. We don't know how long he's out either. So it was like, and Cutter, knee. Cutter, I'm not going after. Bayo and Giolito, suspect.
Yeah.
Were they actually preparing during spring training? I don't know.
Not.
Cutter, he had an injury last year on his knee, and they forced him to play. They forced him to keep throwing, and then go figure, we get to the offseason, and like, they're like, does he need a surgery? And they keep saying, no, he doesn't. No, he needs a surgery. He's probably getting a surgery. They haven't said that yet. That's insider stuff.
But probably.
I think he's getting a surgery. I think he might be out all year.
Yeah.
So that was supposed to be a 6-man rotation. You just lost 3 of them.
Who's the one that everyone's been talking about and saying that he's the most impressive one?
Hauk?
No. I think maybe it is Houck. Yeah, Tanner Houck. Yeah,
Tanner. Tanner's a stud.
He's a stud.
He's going to slot right in there with Walker.
Every single person that they've interviewed on 98.5 has been like, Tanner Houck is the most impressive turnaround this offseason. Like every single player without a doubt. Like just first thing that comes to their head, Houck.
Dude, money. He's money. His command is freaking perfect. He can put his 4-seamer wherever he wants.
Yep.
I gotta credit Andrew Bailey on that. Like the pitching coach, before they would try to make him throw 2-seamers. Like, well, we don't want you to throw more speed because the contact's gonna do more damage. And then they're like, no, because he was originally a 4-seamer. So then, all right, we'll go back to 4-seamer now because the 2-seamer's not working. And now he's been throwing his 4-seamer with Andrew Bailey. He's been mixing in some off-speed stuff, and he can put it where he wants. He can put it upstairs, inside corner.
How's the starter too, right?
Yeah, he's a stud.
Yeah.
He was their number 1 last year.
Yeah.
They got 2 guys in front of him
too,
now.
right?
Yeah, he's pretty young. Yeah, he's in his prime.
Yeah.
He's been in the league for a while. Right? He's probably like 28. Yeah. But he was their number 1 guy before, like your rock solid starter that you could depend on.
Yeah.
Now they put 2 guys in front of him who are supposed to be better, with Crochet and Bueller. So you upgraded big time on the front end.
Yeah.
The guys in the back are slacking. Bayo, you had a bad year last year. You were immature. You were freaking out on mistakes and like imploding on the field. And then we have this offseason to restart and clean slate, get it ready to go, and then you come in and you're hurt.
Yeah. It's
like, what happened? Were you preparing? Like, what went wrong?
Were you going too hard in the offseason? Like, what happened?
Maybe. Like, that's disappointing. That one hurts a little bit, because I remember you've always been really high on Bayo. I have, but I gotta call it as I see it, you know? And, like, there's no bias here. He's gotta figure that stuff out. And I think that might be why maybe I'm a little extra hard on him. Because I know how good he can be. He's got some great stuff, but mentally, he makes mistakes. Yeah. He acts like
I think that's his biggest thing, is he's so young.
He's young. He's in his mid-20s.
We started him too early, I think, was also part of it.
Yeah, because we had no one.
Yeah.
Freaking no one.
I guess. I don't know. You're a 3 guy. I'm sure.
Giolito, the jury's out. Drives me crazy. Cutter Crawford, great player, not his fault.
No.
So instead, the back end, I think we're slotting in Dick Fitz.
My guy.
As your number 4. And there's another kid. I don't think he's going to get it. It might be Quinn Priester.
Oh, what's the other guy that we're...
But there's also Cooper Criswell.
I was talking... No, the one that the other day we were talking about.
The super stud.
Yeah.
I can't remember his name.
Young guy.
There's a super stud, a secret pitcher that's really good.
Yeah, and he pitched this preseason and was like... I think he pitched like 9 or 10 innings, not obviously in a row, but in the offseason, and it was like no hits.
Yeah, he dominated.
Yeah.
You were telling me about him on like Thursday.
Yeah.
Stud. I can't remember his name, but I also read something about him too, like yesterday.
Yeah.
So very excited about that kid. I can't remember his name.
Yeah.
I think it's either going to be Priester or Criswell as your last guy. I think you're really strong up front, and then you start to get a little weaker. Criswell was serviceable last year. Cooper Criswell was pretty good.
Yeah.
Dick Fitz, the jury's out. if he
Every time you
actually
say that, I'm gonna laugh.
if he fits in the rotation or not.
Oh, nice. Nice.
We'll see what happens there.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I'm looking forward to it. The floor for this team is the playoffs.
Yeah.
The ceiling is the pennant.
I think floor is wild card.
Yeah, you win the wild card.
Yeah.
Or you
make the wild card at least competitive.
No, you.
Oh yeah, you get into the wild card. I think that's floor. That's floor.
I think you can win.
I think you can too.
The wild card.
I think wild card is floor.
All right, you're right.
Getting into the wild
Let's
card.
get into the wild
We
card.
haven't seen the wild card in a long time.
You're right.
In a long time.
We get to October.
We get to October.
We make it to October.
We make it to October. That's the floor. The ceiling. Long run in the playoffs.
Seven game series against the LA Dodgers. Where freaking
Somehow you win.
somehow you pull a knuckle out of a whatever.
Yeah. What he said.
We'll do some C's.
Yeah. Quick break before C's.
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. Sweet.